It is a nice little add-on to the look overall. And this a little bit more often. You see something. Oh no, thinking of maybe getting a little bit more character driven. Oh, hold on to it, that because I'll be starting the sharing back up tomorrow. I won't be sharing on any of the commentaries, just to keep the videos the way I guess like direct for anybody else that wants to watch them. All right. So we're going to be getting started. Now, for anybody that will be watching this once it's uploaded to YouTube, we will be doing a countdown here shortly. But before that, just want to let you guys know the way this works. I will be watching the movie. You guys will be watching it. The only way you'll watch it on your end is if you have a copy of it. I'll be giving the countdown. Once I say play, you hit play, and we watch together. Um, if you want to watch it after it's uploaded to YouTube, then check out the video to this point once we start getting into the countdown. And again, hit play when I say hit play, and we are all together. Hopefully, our scenes should match up about as close as possible. But we're going to be getting into it. make sure we don't have any issues like we almost had with part 4, where I almost had it where the audio was playing, and that's a big no-no. Like, I just got the copyright strike off my channel. I do not need another one. So let me... You just put in part 5. That is fantastic. Let me make sure that the stream is also on YouTube. YouTube, I know it's on YouTube because that's how I'm talking to you guys. I mean, Facebook. There we go. What's going on, Surgical Duke? How you doing? As you can see, we're going with a little bit of something different here. This might be the new staple for the JG Dark live streams. Definitely helped me get into character. I feel like a Crypt Keeper kind of personality. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll see the Ghostface mask under here, the hockey mask, maybe Michael Myers. I actually really do like the way the hood looks. Just make sure we got everything up and running, and then the countdown will begin. All right. So without further ado, I kept you guys waiting long enough. We will be beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, you say your account got hacked, dude. I remember you said that before. You still haven't gotten it back yet? Yep, at the part where little Tommy Jarvis is in the rain, finding the dream burial grounds of Jason Voorhees. And Almost forgot about that. It was filmed entirely in the director's backyard. Really? Yeah, that's why they had to recast Tommy and go with the story that they went with. Because they wanted Tommy, they wanted him back as Tommy for Part 5, but it was too many scheduling conflicts. And it's like, even if this was like this wasn't a dream, what would be their reasoning for digging Jason up? Like Jason was just down there waiting. Which that's the thing, because you can tell clearly there that they put screens over the mask eyes to block out the eyes. And I've always hated that, which is why I refuse to do it for any of my costumes, because it one looks unnatural. Like, while in some shading you might achieve the look that you want, but if you're in natural lighting, it doesn't look anywhere near as good. Like, can you imagine Dak, his neighbors, like seeing this and like, even if it was artificial rain, just seeing him shooting this and like seeing Jason coming out of a grave? Like, you see, like right there, like you can see the screens in the eye holes, and it doesn't look right. Like, I get the darkness behind the eyes is supposed to be menacing, but up until maybe that point, Jason has never really had that. Like, you could always see his eyes, which is why I don't know why they went the opposite route in trying to do his eye holes like how they did with Michael Myers. Like, Michael Myers had a reason for his eyes to be blacked out because he was always in the shadows. Up until part 4, where they decided to use the screens too, and even then, that looked idiotic. Said they'd fucking move instantly. I don't know. Some of them stick around. Like, can you imagine what my costumes, how my neighbors feel? Just like randomly at night, hanging out on their porch, and you see Jason walking out from the alleyway, machete and all. Which I still don't understand why a lot of people hate this film either. Going back to your previous comments, that like to me, this is everything you would want in a Friday the 13th film. It's just not Jason or Pamela or any real member of the Voorhees family. Unless you go with my theory that Roy is actually Jason's father. Then you can make an argument with that. And it would kind of sort of tie in the entire bloodline thing. Definitely Black Stylo. Like this is the I think the most underrated entry of the series. Cuz I mean, when you compare this to Part 8, Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy versus Jason, Jason X, to me, production wise, even acting, story, everything, this is leaps and bounds better than those films. And I'm saying that as a Friday the 13th fan. Like to me, the reason I always looked at part 1 through 5 as my favorites is because I can rewatch those over and over and over and over and never get tired of them. 6, 7, 8, Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy vs. Jason, Jason X. I can watch them repeatedly, but nowhere near to the extent and interest levels that I have for these. Then you look at it from a production standpoint. Look how this is shot, and look how seamlessly it matches 4, 3, 2, and 1 all together. Once we get past this and we get to part 6, as much as I like part 6, the production got too polished. The characters were too self-aware. We get a little bit back to this in part 7, but also the characters are kind of thinly written. Oh, Dragon, you haven't seen any of the Friday the 13th films. Oh, my friend, you stumbled onto the right channel. Like, you gotta. Well, not gotta. I don't want to force you to do anything. Even though you're just here because it's 1 a.m. But definitely start from part 1 and work your way up. And treat it almost like a season on Netflix. And see how seamlessly the stories line up one after the other up until you get to part 8. Like, I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you're a fan of horror. And also, thank you for the follow, Dragon. Like, you are amazing to drop a follow at 1 a.m. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you. Do I think Melanie Kinnaman was a weak final girl? Is that Pam? Because I think she was pretty standard. Like, to me, she kind of mirrors a lot of Jenny, just not as smart as Jenny. Which, Dragon, if you're still watching, I don't know if my chat is also using Restream to like so you guys can see what on Twitch what my chat is doing on YouTube. If not, I assure you I'm not talking to myself. I'm just talking to the chat on YouTube. Usually Restream collects all of my chats together, except for Facebook. For some reason they're like, screw Facebook. We're not using that. So if nothing is popping up in the Twitch chat, I just want to let you know I'm not crazy. I'm not wearing the hood just because I'm a little bit out there. I am talking to people on YouTube as well. Which, if you have a YouTube, feel free to come by and subscribe as well. There you'll get my theories, reviews, cosplay videos, and everything. So you figure Tommy is clearly disturbed, and nobody bothered checking any of his belongings to see if he had a knife, knowing why he's in the mental institution to begin with. Which I wonder if Roy might have actually gotten his hood from probably taking it from Tommy. Because we don't see him wearing the hood early on. We don't see him wearing the hockey mask or hood up until near the end. Oh, nice, Dragon. Because I know sometimes they'll pop up on mine, but then other people will be like, who the hell are you talking to? I'm not going to lie. I love Tom Matthews. I love Corey Feldman. But to me, he was always the definitive Tommy Jarvis to me. Now, I don't think he had the hockey mask. I think Roy likely had the hockey mask. I think that was likely his. But I think the flesh hood was likely a mask that Roy probably stole from Tommy and cut out the face. Could have. Could be. I still personally go with my theory that he was there for Tommy to begin with because he's Jason's father. I don't know, man. If they smell even remotely as bad as they look, I'd probably be trying to get away from her a little bit. Like, you back like 4 or 5 steps back. So wouldn't that be kind of a threat that he could arrest her for? I mean, I get why he doesn't, but so I wonder what Vic was there for, anyways. Because I mean, I get anger issues, but what would have actually led him to being there? Because I mean, being as volatile as he is, one would think that you wouldn't put him in that kind of setting, especially with kids around. Oh yeah, Pam is hot. Pam is definitely hot. Like I would probably, it's a close tie for number two between her and Trish on my list. Which is funny because we got Vic, who is in Return of the Living Dead, and then we get Tom Matthews after this movie, who's also from Return of the Living Dead. It's insane that we never got Linnea Quigley in these. Like, do you know how you got to shove a candy bar like into your mouth and still salivate around the corners to get chocolate there? Get it all over everywhere else except his own clothes. Like, are they calling Joey an asshole or Vic? Need around the clothes, not around the face. Just like, ah. Don't damage the chocolate. Death curse reactivated. Now that's what I'm saying. Like, if that was enough to set him off in a homicidal tirade, what the hell was he even doing there in the first place? Because it's not like he said something about his mother or anything. Just told him he was out of line. Oh, nice, dragon. Let me know how you like it. Yeah, it was an argument over that chocolate bar. Unless Black Stylo, you go with my theory that I was talking about. if Roy was actually already there to hunt down Tommy because of what he did to Jason, theorizing that Roy is Jason's father. Yeah, Pinehurst is supposed to be around Crystal Lake from what I remember. I know that's according to some of the stuff Vincente DeSantis sent with the Never Hike Alone script. Like, giving that look at the end. So I wonder if that's supposed to mirror the same kind of look Tommy gives at the end of part 4. Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah, that's a bit harsh. Just because they may be crazy, all of them deserve to die. You gotta take a crap, but you're out in the woods. So what are you wiping your ass with? Are you just planning to go on a date with, like, shitty ass? I don't know, Dak. That's a theory within itself. If I were to guess, they likely have some kind of connection to Joey. Possibly Joey may have had a run-in with them at some point in time that we never saw on camera. Tree leaves. That shit scratched the hell out of your anus, man. I don't know if I'd do all that. But then again, I'm thinking like dried up leaves. I don't know. I'd be more likely just to take off a sock and go to war. Which is still is a good question of why he would go after him. Unless he was actually there for Tommy and that was some kind of plan he had to maybe get Tommy alone. Maybe? But even then, that doesn't make sense. The true villain is the fucking rabbit. Never noticed that. When you look at Jason's his elbow right here, how the sleeve is split and bloodied. Interesting. So I'm wondering why we never saw Reggie again. Or Pam for that matter. Yeah, it could be foreshadowing part 7. I mean, obviously, Victor would likely be placed in a mental institution where he should have been in the first place. Which would be pretty cool if they did a movie with Victor at some point getting out of the mental institution and coming back to Pinehurst to kill again. Or maybe some other location. Because, I mean, Victor wouldn't have been that old if he's supposed to be, like, around Tommy's age, 17, maybe 16. So you figure this was in 1989? He should be, shouldn't be that old. He should be able to carry his own, like, slasher kind of sequels if they wanted to do a Friday the 13th spinoff. My first thing was, who the hell is Eddie? Like, obviously, I do mind. See, because you would kind of figure anybody who's put into Pinehurst being as free and open as it is, it should be like the last step before you re-enter society. So how the hell was him and Victor brought there? Seeing that both of them still obviously have a shit ton of issues. It's like everybody in Wessex County has become an asshole since part 4. Just realized. Can you imagine a Rob Zombie remake of this? That would be insane. It would be complete shit. But can you imagine the Hick scenes? I think that would be his specialty. Fucking Ethel and Junior, done by Rob Zombie. Which I still think the only movie that he should have did that would have fit him perfectly is still Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is insane that from what I remember hearing, that was the movie he decided to pass up. Still not gonna lie though, I am very excited for Three from Hell. Because then you look at it, why did Roy even kill those two? Because, I mean, the only connection he had to anybody was Tommy. Oh, gratuitous boob shot. There it is. Letting his porn roots show, the director. Yeah, Eddie definitely was a jackass. I mean, I get his whole ailment. I believe was supposed to be like nymphomania or some shit like that. But they should have at least given everyone there a good warning to why Tommy is there, and maybe an update to hey, this guy, he hasn't been right since he killed a psychopathic killer and dismembered his body, seemingly. Well, at least at this point, I guess it was supposed to be dismembered. How the fuck did a cat get in there? Don't you think before you leave you'd have to get the cat out? It took her that long to get ready. It's going to take her another 3 hours to get the cat out. Meanwhile, this guy's car battery probably died from how long he was out there waiting. Ooh. Okay, so I guess that was her cat. Said I feed you and I love you. What the hell did he do with Billy's body? Like, literally, she's out there for 2 seconds and complaining about being cold, but she just spent like 3 hours getting ready. Like, think about how he felt. Oh, you said it's her diner. Okay. Well, that would make sense then. Oh, maybe under the car. So I'm wondering, was that Vic's axe that he used? Because, I mean, it's the same style. Like, double headed axe. Run, chickens, run! See, that was my thing. I still believe all those hallucinations aren't hallucinations, that he's still haunted by Jason's ghost. They do look like they're a day away from retirement. Now, with him being the sheriff and him being the mayor, the moment he would have suggested that a dead serial killer that supposedly was cremated is the actual killer, if he wasn't joking, don't you think that his job would have been taken away from him? Because you wonder if there's also a story with the sheriff as well that connects to Jason. Oh no, Dragon. No, no. They definitely pull a psycho on you with Annie in part one. Like, hopefully you've been able to avoid all of these spoilers for part one, Dragon. So that way the ending isn't spoiled for you. Or spoiled, rather. So essentially, as much bitching as Victor was doing about hating it there, clearly we see they have no boundaries. He could have just stopped chopping wood and just left. Hey, Devin, how you doing? Thank you. Glad you enjoyed the video. I would have had it out sooner, but like I said, I wanted to re-record some things. Oh, this guy's breathing like one of the killers from Dead by Daylight. Oh, letting them porn roots show again. Not gonna lie though, she is like one of the hottest girls in the Friday the 13th series. I mean, I think that's why he was doing the wood chopping too, Black Stylo. But you'd figure if you're to the point that you're ready to hack someone to pieces with an axe, why not just make a break for it? Especially because you see they're taking them to prison, so you obviously don't care where you go. Like, he's like smiling in the back of the police car. And like, how stealthy is Roy to walk through all of that? Not make a sound until it's too late. Ooh. It's just added insult to injury. Already eye impalement, but let me shut that. I didn't know that. Stabbed Eddie in the dick? Who'd he stab in the dick? Like, dude, you just kissed a dead body. Hey, Ty. Which, we are now 46 minutes into Friday the 13th, part 5. Oh, which ever since I heard that, I think it was on forget which YouTuber did that. It might have been Dead Meat, where they said the way he was twisting the strap was one way, and then you see it going another. You can see it there, but you could also construe that he tightened it as much as he could, and he was straining to hold it, and that's why the strap snapped. Like, he was already moving this way, and there was like resistance. So like he starts moving back, and it snaps before completely because he's using his strength to hold it. You said the guy that was watching him fuck. Okay. It's like some really hateful shit. You stab someone in the dick. Oh, thank you, Devin. Thank you. Glad you like the hood. Yeah, Dak was saying I look like the Emperor earlier, too. Thinking I may be using this for almost all the streams now. Sort of becoming a character of the channel. Ah, you said that was Dead Meat. I know it was one of them because I watch Dead Meat, still Boots to Reboots. Was it Stitched Together Productions, I think it is. Of course, Decker Shadow, all of them. Like, I watch all of them. But I couldn't remember the last one I watched that actually made me think of that. Do my best Emperor voice. I mean, I tried earlier, Ty. It didn't go anywhere near as well. Like, yes, join the dark side. That's the most I can do. Other than I don't sound anything like the guy that plays the Emperor at all. I know, but it's about as best as I can do. Yeah, Andy is gone from YouTube, unfortunately. I mean, he did post something on his page a while back that he wanted to make videos, but at this point I see it being highly unlikely. Because he's been gone for so long, I imagine his channel is likely demonetized and he would have to retry to actually get that back. And if money was an issue before, trying to do anything like that for free and almost starting all over again, that's tough. Unless he's getting money from other sources like Patreon and maybe merch sales. As you'd figure, if he was already having troubles before and he comes back and tries to do it again, you're looking at the best. Like, production on his videos were so good, you're probably looking at maybe 3 or 4 videos a year anyways. Oh, Devin, I still watch Boots to Reboots. Like, even the old episodes I love. Like, he was so good with what he did that I still enjoy all the old stuff. I just hope YouTube doesn't get rid of his channel. So that way I still have that archive to look at. I do too, Chuck. Too many damn enchiladas. Hey, he was another one. Died shitty ass too. Yeah, he does kind of look like Michael Jackson. But Miguel Nunez always had that kind of look to him. Oh, Tommy about to go off. He just backhand Junior? I saw the first hit, but did he just like... And Tommy can fight. The fuck was he like training? Where was this training in part 6? I mean, from what I remembered of season 3, she lost her powers, didn't she? Ty? Because I know essentially her powers are basically her. If you want to go with kryptonite, I don't think there's anything that goes against her that she's ultimately weak to. Is just how strong they might be to resist her power. Because then her body will eventually give out. Oh, here come the enchiladas. Hell no. Anybody who's got shit that bad knows that run. Got the eyes rolling back where it's almost orgasmic. That's that kind of shit that gives you hemorrhoids afterwards. Who would win in a fight out, Sarah Connor or Ellen Ripley? Probably Sarah Connor. She's more battle tested in hand to hand combat and going face to face with like a killing machine. I mean, Ripley went face to face with a xenomorph, but it wasn't exactly like she stood a chance against it in a hand to hand combat situation. I mean, granted, Sarah Connor didn't have a chance hand to hand combat wise with the Terminator. But based on their training, it seems to be more in Sarah Connor's favor. If I was in a Final Destination movie, do you think I could survive? I probably don't think so. Because knowing the information that you get in those movies and trying to be as careful as you can be to not be killed, it's likely with me I'd make a mistake that would set the chain of events off that would get me killed. I mean, she could get him back, but you never know. Ooh. See, after that, why didn't you just make a break for the door? And how big is that porta potty? Because I remember when he went in there, wasn't that big. Yeah, I think I might watch a couple of them too, Devin. Now I'm talking about it, I get the craving to watch, especially his Evil Dead one. Evil Dead and Amityville, the Amityville horror one. Let go of his bowels before he died. I don't know, the way he was on there beforehand, he should have been emptied out. Just like riding around fucking bike as a like a madman. Like you'd figure he'd have been one locked in like a place like Pinehurst. Oh, it's like as she's still adding shit into it, like it's nowhere near done. Oh, I know Nintendo was standing in the way of a Metroid movie being made. A poor tomato. It's like a little temper tantrum there. She's like, yeah, there was literally no point to Junior and his mother being in the movie aside from maybe Junior antagonizing Tommy. To be honest, that sounds kind of good. I'm now getting hungry. Oh man, I couldn't imagine Devin being in a porta potty that tipped over. Oh, I'd probably be throwing up for like a week on end until I got the stench out of my nose. I like you a lot. She's either really into the movie or she's extremely dense to what he's saying. Look at that walk. Just storming off. She's extremely busy. You come back another time. Pretty much. I wonder if that's what it was. Like he was like going to Violet to try to get her. Is it me or does it look like she's wearing like a tiny bathrobe? I bet, Ty. Now, was she talking to herself, or was she actually thinking Jake was in there? I think she was talking to herself. That's what seems likely. But she's in a bunk bed, so who would? Well, I guess she. Yeah, she'd be rooming with the one girl who got the hedge clippers to the eyes. It's like just sleeping in there topless. Oh, that machete looks really good though. Like I need to find out what kind of model of machete that is. Add that to my part three. Yes, Chuck. Roy did stab her in the vagina, if I remember right. But I think they made him take it out, and they just essentially, if I remember, they reshot it to where he's like stabbing a pillow. I think it is. Just imagine Roy just looking at it like, you got some pretty good moves. Imagine Roy getting caught because he's captivated by her dance moves. Which I believe there's a couple of videos recreating that scene where Jason's actually dancing along with Violet, or whoever's supposed to play Violet. Like, what would I do if I became a vampire? That's interesting. But I would probably think Interview with the Vampire likely probably had the most accurate kind of, at least for me, like trying to learn how to deal with being a vampire. Because you would figure you would have to come to terms with drinking blood and possibly killing people to survive. But if you're not a killer to begin with, that's a tough task to accomplish. And I think Interview with the Vampire with Brad Pitt's character Louis captured that greatly. That's funny, Ty. I mean, that kind of work isn't for everybody. Like, I've worked in a cemetery, and some of the smells that were emanating from the areas there were not good. And there's Roy in all of his glory. Pam, Pam almost like slipped and fell. Like that. If I'm Reggie, I'm like, bitch, let me go. I'm faster than you. I need to get the hell out of here. She's like grabbing onto his arm, trying to hold him close. Like, you are an anchor at this point. Well, now she's not holding on to him. I mean, died so quick he never even spit his gum out. Yeah, if I remember right in the game, there was like some scenes where they said it looked blue and other scenes they said where it looks green. So they just added both into the game. I mean, look at Michael Myers' Part 1 coveralls. In some scenes that looks blue and other scenes it looks green as well. Especially in the daylight scenes. I wonder if that's why it was so many different colors in Halloween. Because the ones I have for my 78 costume are like a darker gray, which comes out good when you use the low-key lighting, which you can tell from like the video I shot earlier. But I'm also thinking of dyeing them navy blue to try to get them closer to the night scenes. Hey, Death, welcome. Yeah, just a tad bit late. We are an hour and 14 minutes in. Yeah, because they look kind of green there, too. I probably won't be doing voice chatting tonight, Dat. Got a couple things I have to get done after the stream tonight. Like, it's amazing that Roy never grunted, made a sound, or anything. So you didn't get a notification again? I wonder why. I mean, I've heard that YouTube has problems with that. What are they going to do? Like, just stand over them all night? I mean, if they didn't go with the whole Roy angle with this, and they would have made the killer look like that and actually end up being Jason's father, I think a lot more people would have took more to this movie than they do in the mainstream. That's what I'm saying, Death, because he's got to have some kind of tendencies to like Jason. But then again, he is a paramedic, and paramedics are strong as shit to be able to like lug bodies and stuff the way they do, like living people. Like a good little bit of strength is required for that. Because you wonder where Roy found that hood at to begin with. Because obviously that's a silicone hood. Because he's got the flexibility. If we're talking from just finding something to go out and kill. Oh, thank you, Death. Trying to look a little bit more devious for the streams. Well, you figure if Roy was so scared of the chainsaw, how's his first inclination not to be like, whoa, 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 calm down, calm down? Oh, he's pissed. Just throw it at you and run. Notice how Tommy just strolls in like, hey, what's going on in here? It could slow him down a little bit. At least like aim for the head or something. Like, how do you have that wide open of a shot and you don't go for the decapitation? Just realized when he's raising the machete up, that's a little bit of a nod to part 3. Oh no, getting stabbed there, like fucking Roy should have been slowed down a whole lot. Yeah, I noticed that. Like his eyes are really wide. Which I noticed that before. That was kind of part of the basis of my theory of why Roy was even there to begin with. Like he was originally there to get Tommy for what he did to Jason, which goes with my theory that Jason is Roy's son. But then when Joey got killed, that just furthered his motive. See, part of the ear is missing. Got the Michael Myers breathing. Oh, I actually don't recall, Chuck. I know it's like wet, but I don't remember seeing any nipples. I may have to go back and check that out for science. But you can, now that I'm looking, you can clearly tell she's not wearing a bra. Reggie's like, yeah, give me them hugs. Yeah, it doesn't make sense that he would go for all these people, but ultimately never went for Vit. Unless the greasers that he kills has some kind of connection to Vit. I wonder if that might be something. That could be a theory within itself. Because we don't know why he even went after the greasers. They have no connection to anybody. Ooh. It's like the Mortal Kombat impalement. Fatality. My nurse just looks like, get the fuck out of my room, please. Gotta go home in about an hour. Flawless victory. I don't know. If he had all those newspaper clippings, granted, it's years after the fact that Jason was killed. That means he's been collecting them for a while. He would have had to have gotten those likely back when they first were released in the newspapers. At least I would think, right? And Jason would just be like, no, and fall down a shaft. He plays crazy really well. But I think that's why I like him as Tommy. Like, the emotional range that he shows with the character is really good. It's just a shame they didn't let Tom Matthews do the same thing. Because he's shown in Return of the Living Dead even that he can do that. See, I still think that's Jason haunting him. Trying to get Tommy to resurrect him. That's what I'm saying, Devin. That was like part of my one theory of why Jason was haunting him, is because of how crazy he's been all throughout this movie. And then all of a sudden in part 6, once Jason is resurrected, we get well, at the beginning of part 6, we get one moment where he kind of flips out when he sees Jason's body. But then after that, we don't see any sign of that again. But yeah, it kind of would have to be somewhat of a dream. Because, I mean, where did Tommy get the knife from? Hey, little hand, how you doing? Welcome. Well, you just happened to catch me around the end of the stream. Since we are done with the commentary, that was fun to watch again. I love watching that. No, Ty, I don't think if you use someone's name in a script, unless you are depicting them as a character purposely, then I don't think they can sue you. Like you can take Michael Myers for instance. We know that there's a Mike Myers that's an actor, but Michael Myers is a character. Mike Myers is a comedic actor that does impressions and stuff like that. The Michael Myers character is a slasher killer with his own backstory that does not mirror the actors. So therefore, Michael Myers is not Mike Myers. He's not meant to be that person. But you can totally use the names of people. Because you figure every character that's in a movie ever, there's someone out there that has that character's name. And if you could sue on that basis alone, every film would be sued. I think Black Stylo, I think he escaped the mental institution. Him and Haas. That was part of the thing. They escaped and they went to the cemetery. Which is, at least I think, because it doesn't make sense that Sheriff Garris would let Tommy just run off. Like, on his own recognizance. His middle name is Audrey, though. Hello, Abby. Ghost Abby had to recharge her batteries. Give her a welcoming. Oh, man. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping things up here. Been a busy day today. Got the cosplay video out, got the commentary, got the newest Dark Theories video. We're doing a lot of work this week. And tomorrow, if I cannot get Hide or Die working, might be looking at a little bit of Dead by Daylight, or possibly maybe I might stream something from my Xbox. We'll see. But with that being said, I'm getting hungry. The commentary is over. I am hoping that you guys enjoyed. And as always, I am JG Dark, and thanks for watching.